Okay, folks. So over the weekend, your book one assessment was submitted Wednesday by noon. Over the weekend, you have some reading to complete, chapters 1 through 2 of book two. So I just wanted to give you a little heads up about what's going on, including some links as well to some crash course videos that I think are really great. No, not crash course, Course Hero. My apologies. So let's talk about book the second, chapter 1 through 2 preview. So in these chapters, we're going to get to see Jerry Cruncher's personal life. It serves as comic relief. Please understand that he has some pretty gruff nature and he's not very kind to his wife. We aren't supposed to take this very heavily or seriously. He's not kind to his family, but we are supposed to kind of get a little comedic relief from those interactions. Kind of think back to Great Expectations, text to text, when Mrs. Joe was really cruel and like abusive to Pip. We were supposed to get some comedic relief out of that. I know it seems strange, but that is the purpose of it. So I want you to think about, what can you infer from the scene about Jerry, about his interactions with his family? What are his strengths and what are his faults? Then what other questions arise about Jerry in this chapter? We get to see him at work. We get to see him carrying out some tasks. So what are we learning about him? What more clues are we getting? Remember, I've told you guys he's important. The little things that he mentioned at the very beginning will be answered by the end. So pay attention to this side character. Next, we're headed to court. We've got a picture down here of the court house that's actually being referenced in this book. We're in England, remember. Who is on trial? So pay attention to who's this person, new character, and who is in attendance. We're going to meet some new characters there as well. So Jerry Cruncher, new characters. You should be adding stuff to your motif tracker, your character tracker as you go. And there's going to be more deathly description. There's definitely a motif of crime and punishment. If you guys remember, see the Old Bailey down here? Text to text again, going back to Great Expectations, Pip would always go by the scene of the crime, if you will, of the courts and where people were executed. So there's very similar feelings here. You can tell that Dickens obviously has an opinion on the court system. So think about that. And then here's some predictions that I want you to consider, okay? Now that we've finished Recalled to Life, the first book, what are your predictions for book two, The Golden Thread? Consider the fiction side of the story and the historical side of the story, as well as the characters we've met thus far. This is a question that I'm going to have us talk about when we get to class, so just kind of think about that for next week. Predict, what is this going to be about? It's called The Golden Thread. We've already talked about who that might be about, right? So think about that. And then what do you predict is going to happen? We know historically what's headed our way. How's it going to impact our individual stories? Okay, so the last thing that I want you guys to do is I'm going to post a link to the Course Hero videos to watch to help you be prepared for the quiz on Monday. Thanks.
You got mail.